Hi everybody, welcome back to One Book or Novel at a Time, Read Aloud Time. So I have a beautiful book. Get your little brothers and sisters ready because they're in for a treat. An amazing, cool, magical stories about to evolve as I start reading it to all of you. All right, so I thought a little something for your brothers and sisters that are stuck at home as well, and what sweet it is to read a book with a twist of magic. All right, by author Miss Sylvia Weaver Rivera, and the book is Sarah and the Little Spider Prince. Very sweet story. You're gonna love it. Okay, so that's the cover right there, and this right here is the author, Miss Sylvia Weaver Rivera. Right there. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about her. It says here, while growing up in a small town in South Texas, Sylvia Weaver Rivera, who still lives in South Texas with her family, allowed her imagination to take her on many adventures. Far away from where she lived, this was evidenced by the notations her elementary school teachers made on her report cards every 6 weeks. That notation? Sylvia is a daydreamer. All that daydreaming led to a passion for creating stories about whimsical characters living in magical places, doing unexpected things, provoking young readers to see the story unfold in their imagination. Sylvia also enjoys creating multimedia art and making arts and crafts, some of which she publishes on her online craft blog. So look her up, guys, and follow her and see what other amazing things she does besides writing amazing books. Remember, Sylvia Weaver Rivera. And here it is, Sarah and the Little Spider Prince. Are we all ready? Did you get your little brothers and little sisters? Here it goes. It says, once upon a time, there lived a sweet little girl named Sarah. One night, she was getting ready for bed. She brushed her teeth, washed her face, and put on her pink pajamas to match her pink slippers. Just as she was about to jump into her bed, she suddenly saw a little spider scurry across the floor. Sarah grabbed a slipper off her foot and was about to fling it at the little spider when a beautiful tiny fairy flew before Sarah's face and said ever so sweetly, "Oh no, you must not hurt him, for he is a prince." Sarah, who was a bit startled, said, "I'm so sorry. I won't hurt him. And I didn't know he was a prince. But what is he doing here?" she asked. "I will show you," answered the fairy, and with that she gently swung her magic wand around, showering Sarah with glittery fairy dust. It tickled her nose and made her sneeze, shoo, so hard that she closed her eyes real tight. And when she opened her eyes again, she saw that she had shrunk down to fairy size. Sarah was the same size as the fairy as the little spider prince. Everything around her was so big. "Oh my, I'm just like you now," said Sarah. "Hello," said the fairy. "My name is Kira, and I present to you His Majesty Prince Jared from the land of Emaran." The little spider prince smiled brightly at Sarah, bowed and said, "I am very pleased to meet you." Sarah bowed as well as and softly said, "My name is Sarah, and I am very pleased to meet you too." Sarah looked at Kira and whispered, "He is so polite." Prince Jared took Sarah's hand, saying, "Well, now that we're friends, Would you like to be our guest and visit my kingdom of Emaran? Sarah thought for a moment. I would like that very much, she said with much excitement. And with that, Prince Jared led the way. They walked under Sarah's bed, where it was dark, but Kira's fairy glow lit the way. Sarah giggled. I have never been this far under my bed before, she said. Just then, a door magically appeared on the wall just ahead of them. Kira stepped inside. Prince Jared followed behind her, and Sarah stood in the doorway with a huge smile on her face. She had never seen anything like this before. It was so beautiful. It glowed so brightly and warm. Sarah realized that she was the same small size as every creature there. She saw fireflies, butterflies, and all kinds of happy creatures chattering among themselves, going about their business, rushing here and there, up and down and all around. Suddenly, all grew quiet, and everyone bowed towards Prince Jared. He greeted them with much warmth and kindness, and even made a small speech about his travels. Then he asked Sarah to step forward. He winked at her and announced, Everybody, I would like to introduce you to my new friend. She is from the land beyond the wall. A few gasps were heard from the crowd. Her name is Sarah, he continued, and I decree that she should be welcomed by all. After a few whispers, they all yelled out, Welcome to Emaran, Sarah! Sarah politely bowed and said, Thank you. Prince Jared thanked the crowd for making her feel welcome, and they all cheered their prince, for they loved him very much. Well, said the prince, I think the next stop should be the castle. I agree, said Kira. She then turned and whispered into the ear of a very green grasshopper who hopped off rather quickly, returning a few minutes later with two big shiny red ladybugs who were pulling a beautiful gold carriage. It stopped right in front of the waiting prince. A third ladybug came around and pulled a red carpet from the glittering carriage and laid it on the steps for the prince and his guest. The prince stepped aside for Sarah to get in, then Kira, and then himself. The ladybug gathered up the red carpet and climbed into the back. How far is the castle? Asked Sarah, her eyes bright with wonder as she looked out of the carriage windows. It will be just a little while, answered the prince. Sarah couldn't believe her eyes. She saw glowworms walking their babies in the park and colorful fairies teaching baby roly-polies how to roll up into a tiny little ball. Sarah giggled at that sight. She was feeling so happy that her tummy tickled inside. They arrived at the castle a few minutes later, and Sarah was so tired and sleepy that the fairies carried her into one of the bedrooms. She was laid down and tucked into a very cozy bed with lots of soft, flurry pillows. She dreamed of wondrous, far-away places. A few hours later, she was awakened by the chirping of baby birds in their nest on a branch right outside her window. They were being fed by their mommy. Sarah jumped out of bed and rushed over to the window to watch the happy scene. She was still watching a few minutes later when Kira came in to offer her a snack. They watched the birds for a little while together. Sarah and Kira went to the kitchen where they were joined by Kira's fairy sisters, and they all had a wonderful snack of toasted biscuits smothered with sweet fig jam, fresh fruit, and a tall glass of cinnamon milk. Prince Jared arrived from his prince duties just as they were enjoying the last of their cinnamon milk. Soon, the three were in the golden carriage riding through the countryside. Sarah saw bright green frogs sunning on lily pads, grasshoppers playing leapfrog, and some bees buzzing busily around large yellow sunflowers. Sarah laughed at the baby dragonflies who were learning to fly. They looked so funny. One baby dragonfly stopped what he was doing, looked at Sarah, wrinkled his nose, and gave her a funny look. He didn't find it at all amusing that she was laughing at him. Sarah smiled at him, but he just turned his back and flew quite unsteadily away. The carriage came to a stop, and they all stepped out. There's no illustration on this one. Prince Jared decided it was a nice day and they should go for a walk. After walking for a while, they all sat down on the cool green grass under a rather large fig tree. The prince reached up and plucked 3 nice, ripe, juicy figs, handed one to Sarah, one to Kira, and kept one for himself. Sarah had never eaten a fresh fig before, but saw how much Kira was enjoying hers, so she took a small bite and was delighted at how sweet it was. Soon it was time to go, and Kira ran to the carriage and yelled, "Last one to the carriage is a rotten fig!" And they all laughed as they ran. As they continued on their outing, Sarah saw some bushes blooming with the most beautiful flowers she had ever seen, and she asked the prince to please stop the carriage. She jumped out and ran among the lovely scented flowers, and before she knew it, she was lost. She couldn't see the carriage, Kira or the prince. She was trying to find her way back when she heard a soft humming. She followed the sound and looked through some bushes, and what do you think she saw? A very, very big orange and yellow spotted furry monster. Sarah screamed and ran away faster than she had ever run before. The monster heard her and ran after her. Sarah was running so fast that she almost ran into Kira and the prince, who had been looking for her. "A monster's after me!" yelled Sarah. "What monster?" asked the prince. Just then, the very big orange and yellow spotted furry monster ran up to them with a big toothy smile on his face. "That's no monster. That's a hum-hum. Hum-hums are all very kind and gentle, and he just wants to be your friend. His name is Hum-Hum G," said the prince. And there's no illustration on this one, okay? You want to see, right? You want to see what the Hum-Hum looks like. Okay, show him in a minute. Hum-Hum G was holding a flower in his hand and offered it to Sarah. She smiled shyly, said, "Thank you," and took it. Prince Jared told her that hum-hums can't speak. They only hum, and they take care of all the flowers and trees in the land. "Oh," said Sarah, "but he sure does look scary." "I'm sorry he scared you," said the prince. "That's okay. He's my friend now," said Sarah. They all said goodbye to Hum-Hum G, and they walked back to the carriage. And that is Hum-Hum. "I'm having a wonderful time here, but I think I would like to go back home now," Sarah told Prince Jared and Kira. "Of course," said Prince Jared, and off they went. When the carriage came to a stop, they all stepped off. "Where is the door to go home?" asked Sarah. Kira smiled at her, showed her a handful of fairy dust, and blew it into the air. Slowly, a door appeared and opened up for them. All three walked through the doorway and were in Sarah's room once again. They made their way out from under the bed. Sarah was happy to be back in her room, but sad that she had to say goodbye to the prince and Kira. "Thank you so much for showing me your kingdom. It was beautiful, and I had a very wonderful time," said Sarah. She gave them each a great big hug and a kiss on the cheek. "Close your eyes, Sarah," said Kira. Sarah closed her eyes. And there is no illustration here. Kira sprinkled glittering fairy dust on her, and just like that, Sarah was back to her normal size. Kira flew up to Sarah's face and gave her a tiny fairy kiss right on the tip of her nose. Then Kira and Prince Jared waved goodbye as they walked towards the magical door. way under Sarah's bed. Then they were gone. "Goodbye, Kira. Goodbye, little spider prince," whispered Sarah sadly. Then she lay down on her bed and fell asleep. The warm sunlight that peeked at her through the curtains woke Sarah, and she soon heard her mother calling her down for breakfast. She ran downstairs to breakfast and excitedly told her mother about the adventures she had. Her mother looked at her and said, "Boy, that sounds like quite a dream, honey." Sarah sprinkled a little cinnamon in her cereal and just smiled. The end. Wasn't this an amazing story, right? Mystical, with magic, a touch of magic, fairy tale, fairies, a very nice and polite prince. So I hope you enjoyed this read aloud, and thank you to this amazing author, Miss Sylvia Rivera, for writing this amazing mystical story. And I know that a lot of you really enjoyed it. So continue tuning into the channel, boys and girls. And I will continue reading different books that I have here with me. And if you don't have books at home, at least you can view me, hear me reading to you. And I hope that you like this story. And once again, Sarah and the Little Spider Prince, author Miss Sylvia Rivera. Thank you so much for this wonderful read that you created. And hopefully this is the beginning of a lot of you looking for more of her books, more of her stories. And you can read them to your little sisters or even your little brothers. If you have babies, get them reading, guys. It's right now. Thank you for listening. Remember, everyone's a reader. Some of you just haven't found that right book. What if this is the right book? What if this is the right genre for you? You never know. Thank you. Have an awesome day.